guys? Welcome back to another video. We're picking right back up where we left off in Sarah's last training video. If you guys didn't see that, I'll link it down in the description. And today we're going to start with Sarah pooping right on camera. But we are picking up right where we left off last time. I'm just warming her up with the saddle pad, and I'm just going to saddle her right up. No waiting, no tiptoeing around. I'm just going to saddle her right up, and she does great with it. She's never been afraid of the saddle by any means, so she let me just throw it right on her and get to work. So today I'm actually going to wear my helmet for groundwork. I haven't worn it working with Sarah yet, and I just want to make sure she's fine with it. I've always started wearing it before we actually start mounting, just because some horses get really weirded out by helmets. Some of them don't care at all. Sarah, you can see she's a little curious about it, like, what is that thing on your head? But that was really it. She did totally fine with it the whole time, but I just wanted to introduce it to our routine and wear it a few times so that it's nothing new or scary to her. So we're just going to do all of our normal, boring stuff. First, lunging, a little whip exercise. And, you know, we do this every single video, so I don't think I need to explain, but we're just going to start out like normal in every video. So today, since Sarah's done so well with the saddle this far, we're going to start adding a little bit of weight. I'm going to start flopping things around, making noises, and, you know, actually maneuvering the saddle. You can see she spooked a little bit there, but Sarah is one that she just has small spooks and then recovers from them really nicely. So I'm just hitting the saddle, flapping it around, making noises, and I give her a little pressure and release, so if she just stands there and doesn't react, then I'll release. And yeah, she does really good with it. She's a little weary of it at first, but you know, this is how we're going to start desensitizing her to everything that the saddle does, flapping and all that good stuff. Alright, moving on to the next day, doing our groundwork again. On this day, I really focused on a lot of rollbacks, and on this day, I noticed that Sarah was very sticky in her shoulders. She's very, she just won't stop moving, basically. Every time I'm at her shoulders, which you'll see when I start saddling her after we're done with our little lunging session. I kind of cut all this out for the most part because I don't think you guys need to watch me lunge over and over and over again. But as you can see, I'm just going to saddle her up again, just like last time. And you'll notice that she keeps moving away from me, like constantly trying to release her own pressure there. And she's very, very sticky in those shoulders. So the next few clips, you'll see how we kind of fix that. But that's something that she's really had to get over, is constantly moving away from me and trying to get me to go away by trying to leave the situation, which she's figured out now that she's not going to be able to do. I think it's really important for horses to be responsive on the lead. So right now I'm just walking Sarah around, letting her feel the saddle a little bit, but I'm also going to stop and back her up abruptly, and I want her to take 2 or 3 steps backwards, because that's something that Sarah's really been bad at, is backing up, and I don't think anyone's ever taught her how to back up on the lead. So I'm just walking her and then backing, and then walking and then backing up again, because I want her to be able to be responsive and back up when I ask her to. And right here, after walking around a bit, I'm going to tighten her saddle, because horses do let their breath go. And I'm not sure if Sarah's figured that out yet, but I'm tightening her saddle a little bit after walking around. And you'll see here how sticky she is with me standing there on her side. So, when is it? Right here. She starts to back away from me, saying, I don't like that. I don't like you tightening the cinch. I'm going to try and get away from you. And she does this a lot, but she's gotten a lot better with it. So right here, I'm staying on her side. I'm staying on her pressure. And right there, I told her, knock it off. We're not doing this. Because Sarah is one of those horses that will just keep going around and around and around and around. So I have to give her that reminder, okay, we're done. Okay, so after we're done lunging a bit is when I start going back to the saddle, making noises, flapping around. I'm putting a little weight in those stirrups there, as you can see. And Sarah just did not like this today. As you can tell, she's being sticky again in her shoulders and wanting to constantly move away from me and get away from me. So she doesn't like the pressure there on her side, but I'm just sticking with her. Every time she moves, I move with her to prove, you can't just move away from me and get me to go away. I'm going to follow you. So I'm starting to do a little hopping, because that's going to kind of prep her for mounting, is getting used to me hopping around and jumping on her sides. And Sarah she did not like this. She was very annoyed by this. As you can see, she keeps moving away, trying to get me to go away. But I stick with her right there, and I even tone it down a little bit. So instead of actually jumping and making noise with my boots and stuff, I'll just kind of do little hops right next to her. And as long as she stands still for me while I do it, then I'll release the pressure. But if she's moving away from me when I do this, I keep doing it, because I don't want her to learn that if she moves away when I'm trying to hop next to her, then that's what I want. I want her to move away, because I want her to stand still there. So I only release the pressure if she stands still while I do it. So after we're done doing groundwork on this day, I actually brought my friend Melanie out to help me, because, like I've been saying, Sarah's been so responsive to me on her side. So instead of just making her turn and turn and turn around in circles, sometimes it's just as effective to have somebody hold her. And actually, I think that really helped her. So I'm having my friend Melanie just hold her while I start introducing mounting to her. So I've tightened her saddle a bit, and I'm basically doing the same thing that I did last time. And Melanie gave her a little reminder there, no, you're going to stand still. We're not playing this game. So I'm basically doing the same thing I did last time with somebody holding her. So I'm going to start bouncing, putting weight in the stirrup, moving the saddle around. And I think right now I'm tightening her saddle, because my girth is actually a little bit too long for her, since Sarah is quite a small horse. But I'm actually taking the fenders right now and just dropping them and letting them hit her side, because, you know, if she were to take off or spook or something and those fenders flap and smack her in the sides, I don't want her to be scared of that and scared of the saddle. So I was just doing that a little bit, and you can see she's being super responsive to me at her side. So I'm just doing some little hops here and there, and if she stands still, then I'll stop, and then I'll start again. And it's just that pressure and release, pressure and release. Every time she does what I want her to do, which is standing still, then I'll stop. And then apply the pressure again. And I do the same thing on each side. When I deal with horses, I don't believe in doing everything from the left side. I go back and forth between her two sides, because she needs to know how to do everything from both sides. So I'm putting my foot there in the stirrup, you see. Just adding a little weight. And once she realizes, like right here, she's realizing, okay, I don't have to move. So obviously she doesn't like this. She's not crazy about this. Sarah is a very grumpy mare, but she realized now, okay, I don't have to move. I guess I'll just stand here. And it got way better. So ever since this, she really hasn't been super responsive and trying to move away from me all the time. I think she just needs somebody there to realize, okay, I don't have to move. So really, that's all we did that day, was just have somebody there while I do the same thing and make her realize she doesn't have to move everywhere. So this is the next time that I work with her, and as you can see, she's not near as sticky and not near as sensitive to me by her side. Once she realized, okay, I actually don't have to move anywhere. I'll just stand here and let her do it. So as you can see, she keeps looking over at me like, can you not do that? So we have concluded that Sarah is very grumpy mare. And I'm actually not going to fast forward this because I honestly totally forgot that I wasn't recording like the first half of doing this. So I'm having the barn owner hold her for me while I'm literally just going back and forth between her two sides, going up and down and putting my weight on her back. And as you can see, she really doesn't care about the weight. She had no response to me hanging on her side. She was a little weary at first because like I was way up there over her head. But as you can see, we finally got the first mount on. So I started by just leaning over and rubbing her other side, patting the saddle on the other side, because that's one thing she's been weary about, is making noises on the other side of her body that I'm not on. So I just work my way up from there. I get on and off several times, and that's really the best way to do it, in my opinion, is get on and off, because if you just do it one time and quit, then you'll kind of have to start over again and again the next time you work with your horse. So I just get on and off, and you can see she's doing really good, especially with somebody there on holding her. I've noticed that gives her a lot more security and makes her realize, okay, I don't actually have to go anywhere. This is a lot less work if I just stand here. But yeah, you can see she's kind of uncomfortable, but she's not trying to move away or get away from me at all. And I was really, really happy with her that day. She did great. If you watch her facial expressions, you can see how grumpy she is. But I'm just scratching her, telling her she was a good girl, good job. And that's all we did that day, is I just did some groundwork, and after we did that, she was all done. So I have a feeling we're going to be riding very soon. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get Sarah out on the trails this summer. And I think once she realizes how fun trail riding is and having a job is, she might not be as grumpy, but you never know. We'll see. She is almost 15 years old, so I did give her a bit of a break this year through the winter when we had some very cold temperatures. I did give her a break for a little bit, so that's probably why you haven't seen one of these videos for a while. But yeah, keep up with the vlogs, keep up with these training videos, and you'll be very excited to see where Sarah goes this year and what all we do together. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what else you want to see down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.